With its misty waterfalls, deep forests, and fog-shrouded coves, Moonlight Falls casts a spell on all who enter. The town was founded centuries ago by two immigrant families, the Van Goulds and the Wolves. Only the truly adventurous stay out after dark. Some say it's a whole different world under the moonlight. What's up guys, Rakowski here, and today we are judging and rating every occupied lot in Moonlight Falls. Before we get started, if you enjoy fresh content on The Sims 1, 2, and 3, don't forget to like this video and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Also, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite world in The Sims 3 is, and if I haven't already covered it in this series, you can suggest it for the next episode. Okay, let's get into the video. Oh wow, this place is actually pretty bright and beautiful. Welcome everybody to Moonlight Falls. You asked for it and here we are. So I've never played in Moonlight Falls before because I'm not really an occult sim lover. I actually don't mind playing occult sims, but just like entirely separately. And you can do that in The Sims 3. And yeah, I even switched my lighting mod to something more appropriate for this world, and it's still pretty bright. So we're gonna see all the colors, so why don't we just jump in and see what we get. First up is Abundant Richness. This is actually owned by the Goth family, so we'll get into that in a moment, but my first impressions for this build, and I guess for this world as well, is beautiful. I love this shape. I love the turret over here. I love that it's 3 stories. That's kind of just enough for a Victorian. The roof, I may change like a little bit. I would make another gabled part maybe, but I mean, they could have really done it terribly, so I'm happy that it's not gross. They even have a little garage over here, so well done so far. So in case you're wondering, this is the Goth family. They're like, most of them are dead, but you know, it is the supernatural pack. But yes, there's maybe a few too many windows, but when I do a Victorian build, I put too many windows too, because you kind of have to. Like they're supposed to be over the top, so I don't mind kind of going a little all out. Okay, let's place bets on how many green bathrooms the Goths have. I'm just gonna say 2. So my first comment is that this build is actually quite dark inside, which is appropriate. Number 1, we are in Moonlight Falls, and number 2, they are ghosts, and I guess number 3, like it's an old dark creepy Victorian house, and if I get like into the first person, it's quite realistic. I could totally see this. So this is the lounge area. I guess it's all right. I don't really like how green is the off color, but it is very Victorian with like the arsenic green, right? And at least they keep it cohesive because we have the green armchair in here in the office library thing. That's the first thing they use the turret for. I think that's pretty nice. The dining room looks like every other EA dining room, but it's not gross. The offset colors are very faint, but I like that. It kind of looks like this house hasn't been touched in many years. But going upstairs, wow, these bedrooms are kind of pretty as well. Okay, I will say that I love this color palette. The more I see, the more I like it. And that's rare for an EA build. Usually it's like I keep finding things that ruin it for me. Going upstairs, wow, they use a lot of green in this house. However, they use it in the right places. They use the right shades of it. Nothing is like overpowering. Nothing is gross. The bathrooms are nice. Wow. I got more and more excited the more I saw, and I didn't see anything I didn't like. Loved the colors, loved the style, loved the shape. I'm giving this a 10. We didn't even get 110 in Bridgeport, and you guys picked that first. We should have done this one, I think. Next up is Country Living. My first thought is it kind of looks like Little Simsy built this. That's not a bad thing actually, like she's a really good builder, so if it reminds me of her, they might be off to a good start. However, I feel like she would have done better symmetry in the front here, and I also believe that she wouldn't have chosen marble columns with flowers on top for the front door. But other than that, I think the color is really nice. It's windowed really nicely kind of all around, and sometimes EA gets lazy with the back and sides, if you know what I mean. Okay, jumping inside, I really like the inside style, but I don't like it in this house. I think the inside looks like it was decorated 20 years before the outside was, so it doesn't really make sense. But I do like how it looks. I think the style is really nice for maybe a Victorian build like we saw previously. Again, beautiful furniture choices, beautiful colors. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna be called a hypocrite, I know it. But even though there's a white bathroom and a white kitchen, I don't like it in this build. I think it should have been darker because normally I'm hoping for that stuff because it's like a normal house and then it has like a green kitchen. It doesn't make any sense. Upstairs, again, colors. They learned color theory for this. Midnight Hollow had really good colors, and so does Moonlight Falls. I bet the same teams both worked on those worlds. Now, nothing screamed werewolf to me. That's also not necessarily a bad thing. Like, you might want to be like a stealth werewolf, right? Like, not necessarily tell everyone. I wouldn't want to tell people about it. And I'm not super familiar with like even what werewolves are, but from what I know, they're only werewolves like once a month during the full moon. So you could have a normal house. I'm going to give this one an 8. Just a few little nitpicky things, but you know, overall, from the things that we've seen in previous episodes, I'm pretty happy to have something like this. Next up is Dionysus Dwelling. I think I said that right. I know it's a Greek god, but again, not really my specialty. But my specialty is builds. And again, a nice cute little yellow house. It's a little boxy, like that's a little lazy, but they did the little front porch on the front and the back here. Again, this is like all in like Simsy style. Okay, jumping inside, again, a little bit dark, but it's Moonlight Falls, but they use the white more cohesively. I'd much prefer it in this house. It's a cute little starter house. It reminds me of the Sims 4 starter houses, just in the layout. And I will mention that so far every house has had the kitchen at the back, and that is like a typical Victorian style thing, and this is supposed to be a Victorian world basically, so I'm really impressed with that level of detail. Upstairs is really nice too. The bathroom, not a green bathroom in sight. I think every bathroom has been either white or something like non-threatening. I like the brighter wood used in this build because again, this is what I expected in the last house. This is more of like a post-war house, so I was expecting like, you know, plastics inside, like, you know, a little bit more white and a little bit of a brighter wood, because that darker wood worked much better for the goth mansion. I mean, overall it's a cute house, but it's certainly nothing special. I'm just so grateful to be getting things that are, oh my god, is that an eaves trough? It does have an eaves trough. I'm gonna give it an extra point. I was gonna give it a 7, but let's give this one an 8 as well. I don't mind if you go for something simple, especially for people who are newer to building. Just build a square like this and then just add stuff to it to make it nice. Next up is the efficient abode. My first thought is this looks more like a trailer than anything we saw in Riverview. That's a very good thing. I love the foundation choice that they have. I love these little bump outs. Like, those are on trailers, and like, I've never put those in a trailer build. Why have I never thought of that? Okay, let's jump inside. I love this wall. Again, I don't think it's pretty, but I think it's very realistic, and I've definitely seen stuff like that before. I love the mixed match chair and table and stuff. Very realistic for this type of build. The kitchen, that's exactly what a kitchen in a trailer would look like. The bathroom is white. You can give me a bathroom that's a different color, just no green, please. Let's go into the green carpeted bedroom, of course. Now, again, it's not an overwhelming green. It's not gross, and they didn't make everything else green, so it's not awful. I love this texture for the blanket. They've used this a few times. I love blankets like this. It's small, it's cute, and like when I first saw it, I thought, it's a trailer. Like, I can't give it a good score. But I don't think I should just give things bad scores because we saw really great things before. Because again, if I compared this to the other trailers in other worlds, this is perfect. But it is just a trailer, so we're gonna cap it at 7.5. The only house this size that got a really good score, which was I think a 10, was when they just put like ridiculous color all over the place and I was just starved for something. Next up is the Graceful Getaway. I will say that my first impression for this is McMansion. It's got too many mansion details for the size it is. The Goth mansion had like, you know, less prominent columns and stuff, so it was a little bit more balanced. This is a little too much. These are people who are trying to be like, look how much money we have. And that's not very becoming, but I mean, we're not gonna like rip it too hard for that because it's actually not too bad. It's just too much roof and too many details. If you just deleted a few things, it would be all right, and I'd much rather have that. So let's just jump in and see if the build has any merit. Oh wow, okay, good. There is some color. I love this living room. This is my kind of color. Love it. Love the couches. I love that it's old-fashioned. At least the inside is like a little bit old-fashioned styled. I hate when things try to look like they're classic and then inside it has nothing to do with it. Moving upstairs, more color, and there's kind of a lot to this floor plan, so let's get a bird's eye view. Okay, actually the rooms look pretty good sizes. None of the bathrooms are gigantic. None of the bedrooms are too big or too small. Wow, well done, EA. I'm impressed. And the bathrooms are actually very pretty. You know me, I love bathrooms. And They don't put too many sinks. They don't separate things out too much. I like how the one bathroom has a separate toilet room. Where is it? I saw it earlier. Yeah, over here. See, like having like a nice little separate toilet area is a nice detail. And just overall, like looking back, like first of all, you can tell where the kids' room is, but it's very cohesive and I think very realistic. The mother-in-law lives here too, so like everyone hates each other. Oh, and it looks like somebody's a witch because you have all the spellcaster stuff up here. That's nice. I like how they hit it up here. I just noticed going into the final shot that the witch is a Caliente, Doreen Caliente. That's a plus too. Okay, like what do I say? Because it was very McMansion-y from the outside. I still don't love the shell, but inside, well done, great style, suits the Sims, and you've got a Caliente, so I'm gonna give this one a 7. I do think it's important to grade against the curb a little bit too, and this is definitely the worst of the houses that we've seen so far, in my opinion. Next up is the Great Greek. Now, I really wish they picked a different yellow or just a different color in general for some of these houses. That's like a little bit of a picky thing, but at least it's cohesive. I think the landscaping on this house is probably the best that we've seen so far. Now, I did just delete some trees so we can get a better look, but again, it's just like a basic boxy house. I like the detail of this third story, even though it doesn't exist, because I've seen those a lot in real life. Okay, let's jump inside. Ooh, there's some colors going on here. Again, nothing too hideous. I don't mind this green with this fuchsia, actually. It's really, really nice. I usually pair fuchsia with blue. And this purple office, I don't know, it's like a little bit funky. I guess it's the front entryway too, and I just have a nice little pop of color when you walk in. Kitchen, again, very nice with a white half bathroom. I'm so excited. There's a basement. Let's go down there first. Oh my God, there's a mannequin. I have a mannequin next to me. Stunning. And like half of this house is green and I still don't hate it. It's just the right shade of it for this kind of house. I think it suits her personality. Now, the only thing I don't like is this yellow wallpaper. I think it's a little bit disgusting. But I mean, if it's just one wallpaper I have to change, I think that's pretty good. Oh, and the third floor does exist. I just thought because if you see the roof here, it's clipping through, but it doesn't clip through when you're inside the house. That's very nice. In The Sims 4, this whole thing would bug out. Again, kind of a basic house, but this is the best job they could have possibly done, I think. It's also, I think, my favorite of all these types of houses that we've seen so far. I'm gonna give this one a 9. Look at me just handing out these high numbers. Maybe I'm in a good mood. Actually, I'm not in a good mood. That's fun. That's actually kind of funny. Next up is Lap of Luxury. Wow. Okay, I love it. I don't care. It's great. They did this exquisitely. This is just wonderful. Look at the windows. Like, they use the same colors for the windows on other parts of the house. So the whole thing just works together, even though it's like this rainbow mess. By far the most stylish rainbow build I've ever seen, and the shell is amazing. I love this. If you don't like the colors, just paint it all brown or something and you're fine. Look at the roof's a little bit stretched out here, but that's more of a limitation of the game, not really, I think, the person who made this house. Love the roofing otherwise. Well done. Okay, let's jump inside. I see colors everywhere. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this purple room with the green couch. There's like 3 rugs. I love it. This looks like movie hangout stuff. This is amazing. They do the same thing in here. Well, at least it's cohesive. Going into the dining room. Oh my God. I love it. It's kind of ugly, but it's great. They continue the different colored chairs here. Love that. The purple kitchen. If this kitchen was plain and white, I would have freaked out. Okay, coming upstairs, they continue. Even the railing is green and I don't care. Love it. Love this bedroom. This is probably my favorite one. It's the first one I saw. Love this blue. Love this desk. Oh, be careful what I wish for. I saw a green bathroom. No, actually, it's just a green tub tile. And this is mostly yellow, I guess. They tried. At least they gave us something. I actually really like the floor in this bathroom, though. I think that's really old-fashioned and nice. Oh, wow. Look at the 3rd floor. It's like a nightclub up here. Look at this. Wonderful. I love this little foosball room, too. I would never make a foosball room. They have a telescope here, too. Oh, and they use this as a little... Kind of looks a little bit witchy, but we are in Moonlight Falls after all. You know what? I'm blown away. This is actually better than the Goth Mansion. I'm giving this one a 10 too. I know someone's gonna hate it, but again, this is just all about taste, and I just love it when people go for it, and they really went for it. Well done. Next up is Manufactured Magnificence. I disagree, but again, it's another trailer home, and even though it's probably not my favorite trailer, it's well done, and it's definitely better than the trailers in the other worlds. Now, of course, the first thing I notice is they chose green for this, but I have seen this like green fuzzy stuff on houses like this. Have you seen that like in trailers? Anyway, I have before. So it's realistic, but I still don't like it. Going inside, love this front window actually. It's just very beautiful. It helps open up the space a lot. They use too much green. They get green and yellow. It's just, these are not good colors. These are the colors that come out of a person when they're not feeling very well. The bed, at least they use the texture that I like. And I've noticed that they keep using alarm clocks, and I think that's a nice detail. I find them very useful. I never used them before in my builds, but now I try to pop them in. I mean, it's all right and functional, I guess. And like for a trailer, it's really nice. I just really hate the color palette. But there is lots of attention to detail on the outside too. They got the air conditioning, and of course they have the eaves trough that I love. I'm gonna give it a 5. That's really kind for something that had this much green in it, if I'm honest. Next up is the massively massive mansion. And it really is, because I have to do a panning shot to get the whole front in this thing. But what I will say is that it does impress from the front. It definitely looks like a mansion. I hate when they call things mansions and then they're like a 2-bedroom house. So many windows, but in the right way. The only thing that kind of ruins the whole thing is the roof. I hate the roof choice that they did. It's a little too, it kind of looks like it belongs in eco lifestyle. But the shell is really impressing me. I'm blown away. Well, way better than anything else we've seen in other worlds. I love the driveway too. They kind of tried to do something like this with the land grab mansion, and I didn't really change it too much, but I really wish I did this overhang thing. Okay, great. Let's jump into the house. Ew, that's awful. I hate this wood. Why would they do this? Okay, well, they had their first blunder. Now it looks like a Sunset Valley house. I like the furniture. Honestly, if I look back, it's the floor I hate. That's it. Everything else is fine. I don't see anything else like disgusting. The brownish kind of kitchen though, but they are vampires, so they're like, it's not the center of their world. I love this back hall being all the way across. I never have done anything like this. And I love the columns, and it works really well with the windows. Oh, even a baby poo bathroom. But the bedrooms are all right. I like, you know, this is very vampire-y, very goth. This is very Cassandra goth. We know I love that. And then you go over here and you have this bright pink room. I kind of like that too, because it's like a little bit of a twist, a little bit of something different, and it's next to the other vampire-y bedroom too. I mean, the shell is amazing, but that floor really ruined it. And when you have a detail like that, like I'm thinking, who approved this? Like if you just change it to like a dark brown, just normal wood, it would have been a 10. But since it spoiled the whole thing, I'm knocking this down to an 8. It kind of reminds me when you like go on a first date with someone and they're like, I like sports. And you're like, oh, great. Next up is Mellow Manor. It's kind of an ugly green, if I'm honest. This is by far the ugliest house that we've seen so far. But again, the shell is pretty good. They did a good job with that. This one makes use of like a little hidden balcony here. That's a nice detail. I think just architecturally, it's nice. This is one of my favorite roofs I've seen so far. But just why would you pick this ugly green? Let's just notice that this household is 6 people plus a 7th on the way. So it's going to be pretty big. But going inside, I don't really like the furniture layout, to be honest. And I don't really like the colors either. The floor also looks really cheap. I know it's an old house, but like, come on. All the chairs are different, but not in a fun way. Like the other houses kind of did it better. Okay, let's move into the kitchen. Oh God, blue kitchen, really? I mean, it's kind of nice on its own, but it just doesn't work with the rest of the house. The bathrooms are beautiful. They didn't give me an ugly green bathroom, so we have to give it credit for that. And I do like the upstairs a little bit more than the downstairs. I think there's a 3rd floor too. Oh my goodness, definitely a 3rd floor. I kind of keep forgetting we're playing in the Supernatural pack because the houses are not ugly. So this witches thing, I kind of like that just hidden up in the attic. Again, they're making it very practical. I do believe in giving credit where credit is due. And the floor plan is amazing for such a big house. EA is terrible with large household floor plans for the most part, and that was really well done. But the color, I just can't really get over. And that wood floor was ugly too. I'm gonna give it a 6. It's like being the stupidest kid at the school for geniuses. Last but not least is minimally modern. Wow, this is beautiful for a modern house. I was not expecting this. I thought because this is a Victorian world, then the modern build was gonna be like, But again, this is probably better than most of the modern builds we've seen in other worlds. Love the detail, love the shell, love the roof, love the balconies, love the colors. This looks like one of those builds. Do you remember when The Sims 4 first started and James Turner would do all of those like modern like little houses? This gives me that vibe, and like he's really good at style. And it's really hard to make modern things look stylish too, so well done. Okay, let's jump inside. I like the inside. It's very modern. It's not overpowering. I think it's, you know, a good balance between bright and dark. You know, the one house was too dark with dark furniture and one was too light. This is the Goldilocks version, so that's just great. A lot of them have studies and stuff, which I really like. That's something that I would like in my future home if I can ever afford one. Going into the kitchen, I usually don't like their kitchens, but this one is pretty all right. One thing I don't like though is, again, fridge and the stove are together, but you know, not everyone who builds these knows how things actually work. Going upstairs, lots of bookcases. These people better be bookworms. Okay, neither is a bookworm and there's like 12 bookcases. I don't know how I feel about that. A few too many bookcases for a modern build too. This gym is very small. I bet if they did less libraries, they'd have more room for working out. But that's a really nitpicky thing just at the end there. Overall, this house is amazing. Like, I'm blown away by this world. I can't believe it. I'm gonna give this one a 9. I also want to congratulate their use of this brown. This is not a brown that I would have attempted to use, and I think they did a really good job balancing it out. Well, that does it for the first half of Moonlight Falls. I was blown away. No wonder you guys wanted this one. This is amazing. It's also kind of my style. There's two things I love to build: modern mansions and Victorian mansions, and this world has both. What did you guys think? I know a lot of you love this world, so let me know your experiences playing in it, if you've moved into any of these houses through marriage or whatever, and what you think. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a like and subscribe for some more Sims content. I also want to say thank you so much. I feel popular. Like, people actually want to see these, so I'm so excited. Just let me know anything else you might want to see, and don't forget to vote for the next world on my community tab. Boom.